त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुण्डलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्रार स्वामिनी मोक्ष प्रदायिनी माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
Welcome everyone. Thank you for coming in person, Gulshan and others who are here, and welcome to you all on Zoom and YouTube. We'll also like to have you here in person one day too. Just a little reminder that it's good to actually meet up with each other, to have one meditation at least in real life collectively. Even though this is good to do our online collective at least once a week, and then our own meditations each day, which we've been sending you, and good to have heard back from some of you how you're finding it quite useful having those short daily meditations to go through. So, of course, what we're all about today is strengthening our self-realization. And, of course, if it's your first or the first few times you're joining us for meditation, we'll also catch you up so you can get connected, and we'll all, for the second part of the session, be on it together and do that deepening. Because the interesting thing is self-realization, which Paul might tell you a little bit more about in a minute, is the easy part, but then it's the constant looking at yourself, having 10 minutes meditation each day, and perfecting ourselves and seeing where we are at. That is the real advances in our self-realization, or I think you can also call that our enlightenment, our super consciousness. What would you say, Paul?
Yes.
To describe what is self-realization.
Yeah, well, self-realization is, as to the topic today, one of the topics is the activation of our pure desire.
Yep, very good
and it's through our pure desire that we can achieve the ultimate. And that, of course, is self-realization or your enlightenment. So I guess...
well, so where does that happen? Self-realization or enlightenment, so it doesn't happen in our thinking of it, doesn't happen in our brain at all. So we have to, what we're practicing here is getting out of our mind.
Yes.
Which
going beyond the mind.
Going beyond the mind, exactly. So, and the mind being a factor or a part of that, the latest part of our evolution, which has been through 5 stages, and we've got this little map of our evolution, our spiritual evolution, which we have as a chart here, which you can see the bottom of right now, and that kind of just shows you where all those stages are. And this last stage at our brain, trying to get out of that is quite difficult, except if you get your self-realization. Now, many of you may have already had your self-realization. We'll go through that again, but just for those of you who are coming across it for the first time, or still trying to grapple with understanding what it is, maybe we'll have a little look at that chart. And it's really a map of our self-realization, which is quite good to get our brain to get around it and understand it, so that we can then get out of our brain. Let's have a look at that chart. We've got our magic cameraman expanding that for us. So here's where we are currently in the brain. And there's a very simple way of getting out of our brain and into this last energy center, which is our 7th or it's called the Sahasrara, the 1,000 powers or petals, which are like flames that we'll get to understand when we get into that area. But that's where we're aiming for with our self-realization today. And this whole internal system, this is all in our spinal cord. And you see there's 3 channels there. So everything about us, all our physical and emotional, mental activities or our being is explained by this system. So these 3 channels are our how we act. So we're either thinking about the future, what we want to achieve, what's on our shopping list, or you know, our major goals in life, or we're worrying about what we've just done, or what's been said to us, or how I should have done something better. And we're never in the present, and that's what this lovely white channel in the middle is, and that's where we're aiming to be, in the present. And that's pretty hard to do unless you get your awakening of your own Kundalini energy, which Paul's going to describe what it actually is a little bit more, in a bit more detail in a minute. But this is awakened simply by desiring it to be awakened. You can't do it by yourself. You have to do it with somebody who's already got that awakened. And that is the other thing we're going to talk a bit more about, is it's a vibe thing. So the vibrations bounce off each other, and we all feel it, and you feel it, and your own Kundalini feels it as well. So if you're with people who have that awakened already, you can awaken your Kundalini, your power within you. And what this is for is to connect you to your spirit and to the all-pervading energy all around us, which is beyond the thinking. So that's that next stage, this chakra here. So each of these chakras you can see, circles of energy, are different stages in our evolution throughout time. Obviously, we don't want to talk in detail about all of those because we want to get straight to the point of getting integrated. So that's another word about getting our self-realization, is that it automatically integrates us with all these other points that our 3 channels dwell in. So there's qualities when we're in balance that are awakened within us. So we're basically trying to become our best possible selves. And when we do that, we spend more time in the present. So even that 10 minutes a day having your meditation will bring you into more balance and make you your better self. Some of us will have some energy centers in a bit better shape than others, but it's individual. So that's why getting the self-realizations the easy part, and then decoding and seeing where you're at and what you need to work on. So the working on, it's not as scary a word as it sounds. It's simply raising your own Kundalini, your power of desire, pure desire, and bringing yourself into the present at each of these powerful places. And each of these centres, there's so much about them. They're related to all of our organs and our life, really. For instance, the centre in the stomach, it's our family life, our work. If that's out of balance, you'll find things are going wrong in your work. If that's in balance, things just keep working out and you're feeling peaceful about it all. But that's just a little bit about it. You can also see these on our hands, each of those energy centres are represented. So that's how, when you do your meditation, you start to see how you're feeling, which is a primary thing. You have to see how you are feeling. So it's no one can tell you really, although you start also to feel how the world is feeling and how others are feeling. You can feel on your hands as well. But first thing is to feel how you are feeling. And then you can probably see in reviewing your life what it is that's taking you out of balance, too much in the past, too much in the future. But that's just tip of the iceberg. Basically, we want to awaken this energy, our own power, which is waiting for us just to ask for it to be awakened. And it's a simple process which many of you have done and we'll go through again because it just strengthens it. More of that energy will be awakened and take us into balance. The more you raise up that energy, the more you start to feel the benefits of your own energy being awakened and connected to that all-pervading energy all around us. So it's an exciting place to be, called many things in different religions and different cultures. We'll just focus on calling it self-realization or your enlightenment. And maybe you'd like to take us through that process, Paul? Get us started on that first.
Yes. So what we can do is we can ask ourselves some questions inside us. And what we'll do, we'll place our hand firstly on our heart, our right hand. Now we're using, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, our right hand, which is our side of action. And we're placing on the left side, which is our side of desire. So we firstly place our hand on our heart. Then we go down to just below the rib cage on the left-hand side. Then we go down to where the left leg joins the left hip. And each of these places, we ask ourselves a question inside to ourselves, or you're by yourself, so you can say it out loud if you wish. And then when you come, then we come back to the same place on the left side of our stomach and in our heart. Then we go to the left side of our neck where it joins the shoulder and turn our head a little to the side. And here we ask or state another affirmation. And then we go to our forehead and push your head down a little into the palm of your hand. Then the back of your head and do the same. And then finally, on the top of the head, you put a little pressure with the palm of your hand and just bend your head a little forward and just rotate your scalp slightly in a clockwise manner as you ask for your self-realization. So, and the only other thing you have to do is desire your self-realization. So if we just close our eyes, we'll take our attention inside. And if wish, you can just take a couple of deep breaths to settle yourself down. Now place your right hand on your heart. And here you ask a question of yourself. Who am I? Am I this body, this mind, this ego and conditionings? Or am I the pure spirit? So the question to ask here is, am I the pure spirit? And you're addressing your own kundalini inside you, which is a mothering power, your own individual mother. And you can address it towards your own kundalini. So you can say, Mother Kundalini, am I the spirit? Just repeat that a number of times inside. Am I the spirit? Then take your hand down to the left side of your stomach, just below the rib cage. And here we ask another question of our Kundalini. Mother Kundalini, am I my own master? Am I my own teacher? And again, just ask that a number of times. Am I my own master? Now take your hand down to where your left leg joins the left hip. This is the site of pure knowledge about ourselves, intuitive knowledge about ourselves, the true knowledge. So here we ask, Mother Kundalini, please give me the pure knowledge of myself. Not the bookish knowledge in our head, but the pure knowledge of who I am and what I can become. Please give me the pure knowledge. Mother Kundalini, please give me the pure knowledge. Now take your hand back up to the left side of your stomach, just under the rib cage. And here we affirm our previous question. And we can say, Mother Kundalini, I am my own master. I am my own teacher. I am in charge of myself. I am my own master. Now take our hand up to the heart. And again, we affirm our previous question. We are beyond this body, these emotions, these thoughts. I am the pure spirit. Mother Kundalini, I am the pure spirit. I am the pure spirit. Now take our hand to the left side of our neck where it joins the left shoulder and turn our head to the right. The left Vishuddhi catches when we're guilty. So to clear it, we can just say, I am not guilty. Mother Kundalini, I am not guilty of everything. And again, just affirm that to yourself. I am not guilty. If I am the spirit, the pure spirit, I cannot be guilty. I am not guilty of anything at all. Now take your hand up to the forehead and press your forehead down into the palm of your hand. Now here we have to forgive. We have to forgive everybody and everything. And also we have to forgive ourselves. So here, from the heart, just say a number of times, Mother Kundalini, I forgive everybody, everything, and I forgive myself. I forgive everybody, everything, and I forgive myself. I let go of everything. I forgive. And take our hand to the back of the head, push the back of the head back into the palm of the hand. Here we're human beings, we've all made mistakes. So here we just ask of our own Kundalini, Mother, please forgive me all the mistakes I have made, knowingly and unknowingly, against my own assent, against my own spirit. Please forgive me all the mistakes I have made. Now take a hand up to the top of the head Just bend your head slightly downwards and apply a little pressure onto the fontanelle bone area. And as we rotate it clockwise, we just ask for our self-realization and we desire it at the same time. So Mother Kundalini, please give me my self-realization. Please give me my yoga, my union. If you've had your self-realization before, you can say, please strengthen my self-realization. Please give me my self-realization. Then just put your right hand on your lap together with your left hand. And just keep your attention up where the palm of your hand was on the top of your head. And just try and see if you can experience full awareness with no thoughts. What's called thoughtless awareness. Thoughts will try to come in. Just watch for them and just say, not this thought. Don't try and stop your thinking. Just allow it to fade away. Not these thoughts. Hold your attention on the top of your head. Now, when you're ready, slowly open your eyes, but try to keep your attention on the top of your head. And just be aware of the palm of your hands and the top of your head. See if you're feeling anything on the palm of your hands, and you just lift your right hand above the top of your head. Just hold it up a few centimeters above the top of your head. See if you can feel cool or warm sensation on the palm of your hand without thinking. And then try the other hand. Hopefully you all felt something. If not, just look inside and see if you're feeling peaceful and serene inside. And we might do a little more clearing a little bit later.
Yeah, we'll do a little balancing. It's quite interesting. The thought that I told to go away, and I'll thank you later, that I had was that the culmination of asking for the pure knowledge and then asking for your self-realization is at the Sahasrara, because that's where you get the pure knowledge. So it's an interesting concept in that when you're asking for the pure knowledge at this hip area, you could think that that's where the pure knowledge is, but it's actually just the desire to go up and get the pure knowledge from your connection with the all-pervading knowledge.
Because when you're in thoughtless awareness, that's also your true self.
Yeah.
It's I think we briefly touched on, I think, before, when the brain is reality, that's a physical thing within our body, but our mind takes us right away from reality. And what we're trying to do is get above the brain into the present, which is, again, reality. And of course, the brain is full of thoughts of the future, which is ego, thoughts of the past, which is conditioning. And that can take us anywhere. Sometimes places we don't really want to go. So,
yeah, who wants to go in unreality? It's good it's unreal because it's not nice sometimes.
yeah, and it's only in our own head too. You know?
Yeah,
it doesn't exist anywhere else.
and I thought it would be good to explain what are vibrations. Have you got a kind of a
yes, our vibrations.
analogy of what is vibrations?
Yeah, when you are in thoughtless awareness, and you are, particularly when you're feeling coolness on your hands, that means your kundalini is up. And that means that your attention is sitting up where it's supposed to. And not only are you becoming a witness, because you can sit there in thoughtless awareness and not react to anything that's happening around you, anything such as any noise like that just was, any sensations, smells of cooking food, whatever. You can sense all that, but you don't react via thought. And there's another important thing that happens too when we're in that state, and that is we become collective. And when we become collective, we can plug into the all-pervading divine, the universe, if you like, and you can feel things on your hands and fingers that can apply to you if your attention's on yourself, or would apply to other things if your attention is on some other person or some other something else that's happening in the world, some other world situation. So that is part and parcel of feeling vibrations, and that's part and parcel of having a kundalini up and being in thoughtless awareness. It all happens, and that's why it's called enlightenment too, because self-realization, you're realizing yourself, but at the same time, that's allowing you to feel a higher state of awareness, and that can express us in the form of vibrations.
And would you say that when you're feeling the vibrations of yourself or your energy centers, the chakras as you call them, it's feeling whether it's cool or hot or
yes, or
not flowing or flowing? So it's more of a feeling the state of something.
Yes, that's
rather than it's something actually flowing as vibrations.
That's a very practical aspect of it for our individual ascent. And it also comes, like you mentioned before, with introspection, to look inside and see what's wrong with you. But when you are in thoughtless awareness and you are feeling it on your hands, and it may take a few months for some people, for most people actually, to feel on your fingertips as well. But your fingers, as the chart indicates, represents your chakra. So if your attention is on yourself, when you're on thoughtless awareness, then, and you start feeling tingling on your fingers, that's telling you where your problems are. That's telling you where your chakras have a blockage. And we all have them. And that gives us then the opportunity to use various techniques to clear these blockages, which has the benefit of increasing the strength of our self-realization, the strength of our yoga, which I think we've explained what yoga is in the past.
Yeah. We have talked about, as this is Sahaja Yoga, and yoga is your connection. So that process of getting connected above your brain and going into that 7,000 powered center is your yoga.
Yeah.
And this being Sahaja Yoga spontaneously. So it's just
a dictionary definition of
dictionary definition. The other thought I had about when you're feeling your own vibrations like if you just close your eyes and keep your attention on your fingers, say, if you're not feeling anything in your fingers, you've got some medical condition, you might put your attention inside and feel in your body, or failing that, you observe what's happening with you. For instance, I use my stock example of myself, which is driving down the Tuggeranong Parkway and someone cuts you off, as they did to you tonight, Gulshan, and then you get cross about it and react to it. Well, you can see that perhaps your Vishuddhi, your right Vishuddhi, is perhaps reacting. So, you keep watching yourself reacting, and just the mere act of watching yourself, you find in time, if you keep practicing having your little moment of thoughtless awareness each day, you find that you don't react as quickly.
Yes. And the other interesting thing about that, if you react with anger, then that is a right-sided reaction.
Yeah.
So you're reacting through your ego. But if you react with, oh, it's my mistake again, why do I always do this? You're reacting through the left side, which is your conditioning.
And saying, I'm no good. I'm not
no
good enough. I can't do yoga. I can't meditate because I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
You are good enough.
Yes. So
just out of balance.
It's a good window into yourself, to watch yourself.
Yeah, so just that mere watching yourself and practicing, doesn't have to be a long period of time. That's why we have those 10-minute meditations each day available for people. 10 minutes, you may only get the thoughtless awareness initially for a few moments, but just those few moments are so refreshing.
Yes, it's like a light bulb comes
on.
on.
Like that meditation just now. So jolly good. What we can do is do a clearing, clear the right and the left side, and see if we can feel that thoughtless awareness a bit more.
Yeah, well, we're just going to say something about...
Oh, you were going to say something a bit more about...
desire.
The desire power, which is the Kundalini.
Yes.
Tell us a bit more about that.
So the power of desire is on the left side, as we've mentioned before, and it's... again, it's something to watch, because virtually every type of desire we have is all insatiable, because they're impure. We're desiring money, we're desiring a better job, we're desiring a better house, a better car, we're desiring to go shopping and buy nice clothes, shoes, whatever it is. We're desiring tasty food and all the rest of it. They're all impure because they don't actually do anything to us. And in fact, if we're attention's on too much money, it can lead us into the wrong paths as well, because through our power of desire, we can use inauspicious actions to obtain that money, which is not a good thing. So there's only one pure desire, and that is our desire for the Kundalini to rise, and the desire to give us our self-realization. And that is permanent. Once we get our self-realization, it's there for our whole life and beyond. So it's extremely important. And it's interesting too, because desire is one half of the coin, if you like, because the other side of the coin is action. Now, we can desire something and we have to get anything done, but we also have to take out an action to achieve that desire. And if we don't do both of those things, nothing happens. So the first step in getting our self-realization, the most important step, is to desire to improve ourselves, to get our second birth, our evolutionary jump. And then the action we do is what you've just done tonight. You've asked those questions of yourself, and you've taken out an action to achieve your desire. So the two work in tandem, and they both act on the Kundalini, and then the Kundalini takes us higher. I guess that's exactly what we did tonight. And then the other thing, would you like to clear, or left and right?
You're most welcome to. It's good to have some variety, Paul. Why don't you take us through that clearing of balancing our left and right side so we can deepen our thoughtless awareness.
Okay, so what we'll do now, and some of you may have already done it, we'll clear our left and right side. So we're going to clear our side of desire, we're going to clear our side of action. So we can, I'll just take my glasses off. To clear our left side, we hold our left hand on our lap, palm uppermost, and we just drop our right hand and just let it just fall towards the ground comfortably. And what we're doing, we use all the elements, so we're asking for the Mother Earth to clear our left side. So using the power of gravity to take out all our left-sided problems, which include impure desires, of course. So we can close our eyes, put our attention on the top of the head, and try to hold it there without thinking, on the top of your head. And here we can just ask. Again, you're asking your Kundalini. And you're asking, please take away all my conditionings, all my superego, all my emotional problems, and all my impure desires. And you can ask Mother Kundalini, please clear my left side. And keep your attention on the top of the head and just try and watch from the top of your head to see if you can sense anything inside. Please take away all the problems of my left side. Tension on the top of the head. No thoughts. Please take away all the problems of my left side. Now place your right hand on your lap. And to clear our right side, we raise our left arm with palm facing behind us, with fingers pointing towards the ceiling. And close our eyes. And what we're trying to do, we're clearing our right side, which is our mental and physical side, which generates heat through our mental and physical activities. So our left hand is like a chimney venting the heat. Again, our attention on top of the head. And here we ask our Mother Kundalini to please take away all the heat and negativity from my physical and mental activities. Please take away my ego and all the thoughts of the future, all my planning and scheming. Mother Kundalini, please take away all the heat from my right side. Attention on top of the head, thoughtless awareness, and just watch what happens inside. And you can place your left hand on your lap, open your eyes. Just put your attention on the palms of your hand again. See if they're feeling cooler than before. It's a subtle coolness. And again, try above the top of your head. Your right hand. And with your left hand. And hopefully you're feeling a little bit clearer, a little bit cooler. And inside you should be feeling peaceful and serene.
It's feeling very nice.
Yes.
So it's not to say that you don't use your left and your right side, but it's the too much. We don't use it too much, so that you're maintaining that. You start feeling a nice, pleasant feeling on top of your head and in your hands. So we're trying to maintain that feeling. Yeah. And then you can feel when you're going too far because you lose that peaceful feeling. Then you've gone too far,
and get into imbalance.
Get into the imbalance. So then you want to do the clearing of the left and clearing of the right. So we've got an excerpt of Shri Mataji, the founder of this Sahaja Yoga. And by the way, we're going to also celebrate World Realization Day on Friday the 5th. And that was the day when Shri Mataji first opened this 7th centre so that we could, and that was 1970. So that's the anniversary. I think there'll be quite a few programs on then in different languages. So on the website, they're all listed. We can probably give you that information at the end of the session. But I'll go back to now an excerpt of Shri Mataji from a talk talking about the Kundalini and that power of pure desire. So talk amongst yourselves. Welcome, Kate. Just got in from Tasmania, joined us in person. So she was online with you all last week, but nice you've come. Welcome. So I'll just find that talk for you all. Hopefully this is the right one. Yep, that's the right one. Now, let's do that again. Here we go. Just make that the right size for you all. Oops, daisy. Okay, I'll do that once more. Or do you just want to show everyone how to raise the Kundalini and put on the bandhan while I share this again?
Yes. Instead of going through all those affirmations we just did, you can do that, of course, and some people prefer to do that because it's stronger for them. But the shortcut of that is putting on a bandhan and raising Kundalini and putting a bandhan on. And what we do, we hold our left hand in front of our hips with our attention on the palm of the left hand. With our right hand, we rotate around it. And with our attention on the left hand, as it rises, our attention rises. And at the top of the head, we tie a knot, and that's where we want to lock our attention in, where that knot is. The second time, we tie 2 knots. And the third time, 3 knots. Now our attention is up where the knots are, and for our protection, we put on a bandana. So we have our left hand at our left hip level, and with the right hand we go up and over and back in a rainbow motion. That's 1. We do that 7 times for each of the chakras. Attention up on the top of the head where the knots are.
It's okay. So you go over and then you come back over
Oh,
again. Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. This is the value of being in person. We can see what you're doing. So let's just listen to the video, and then we'll just sit in meditation at the end of the video for a little while.
First of all, I think this is the most important thing to understand about your own Kundalini, as self-realization is self-knowledge. And the one who gives you self-knowledge is this your own Kundalini. Because when she rises, she points it out what are the problems on your chakras. Now, we say that it is pure desire. But we do not know what purity means. It means your chaste desire. It means it has no lust, greed, anything in it. That power is your own mother and is settled in your triangular bone. She is your own mother. She knows everything about you. It's like a tape recorder. She knows everything about you. And she is absolutely the knowledge. Because she is so pure. And whatever chakras she touches, she also knows what's wrong with that chakra beforehand. So she is quite prepared, and she adjusts herself fully so that you do not get a problem by her awakening. If any chakra is constricted, she waits and goes on slowly, opening that chakra. Now this Kundalini is the primordial power which is reflected within you. And within you, in a human being, it is like many strands of energy. So it's like a rope. And these energies are all twisted together to form this Kundalini. In a human being, these strands are 3 into 7, that is 21, raised to power 108. But when your Kundalini rises, 1 or 2 strands out of this come up and pierce the fontanelle bone area. Only 1 or 2. Because it has to pass through the innermost nadi, known as Brahma Nadi. It's all a spiral throughout, because Kundalini is a spiral, and these nadis are also like a spiral, like this. So the innermost nadi is the Brahma Nadi. The outermost nadi is the right side. And the second innermost is the Ida Nadi. So through the Brahma Nadi, she starts sending those threads. By that, they relax the center. By the relaxation of the center, the sympathetic nervous system also starts relaxing. And when it goes to the Agya Chakra, then your eyes start relaxing, your pupils start dilating, and your eyes can become like mine, very black, absolutely relaxed. So you can easily see in a person how far is the Kundalini. If it has pierced the Agya, then the eyes will be completely dilated and would be shiny. And then she enters into the Sahasrara. Now it is absolutely pure light of knowledge, love, compassion, and attention. All these three things are in that energy. We know of many energies like electrical energy, we know of light energy, we know of other energies. But these energies cannot think, they cannot adjust, they cannot work on their own. They are to be handled by us. But this energy itself is the living energy and knows how to handle itself. It thinks. If you see a seed being sprouted, you'll find at the tip of the seed there's a small little cell which knows how to go around the soft places and then how to encircle the stones and then how to find its way to the source. That cell has got, I would say, a little Kundalini in it, the way it moves. But within you is a tremendous force of Kundalini exists. So you have a storehouse of compassion which can be enlightened by the Spirit. You have the storehouse of love, compassion, and knowledge, and ocean of forgiveness. When people get realization, they do not understand that they have to now grow. And why they don't grow? Because they do not ask for these energies. A person who is a realized soul, if he says that I have to have more compassion, my compassion is not all right. My concern about others is not all right. My generosity is not all right. I'm exploiting others. I'm exploiting their love. Then this energy starts moving, giving you that greater dimension of love and compassion. But if you do not want to be growing in your awareness, then she says, all right, he is a half-baked Sahaja Yogi, let it be. She doesn't supply that energy which is stored within you. I told you, 3 into 7, that is 21 raised to power 108. So what a storage you have within yourself. But because of your mundane style of thinking and asking, in the beginning when I started Sahaja Yoga, people used to ask for, say, jobs, or for my mother is sick or a father is sick, or they would ask for money or something like that. So these wants are not pure wants. As we know in economics, they are not pure wants. They are impure wants. Because they are never satiable in general. So this Kundalini, that is your mother, she is there to supply you, nourish you, to look after you, to make you grow. By giving you a higher personality. Higher personality, wider personality, deeper personality. Now, we think if somebody is well read, then we think he is a higher personality. Sometimes a person who is rich, we think is a higher personality. Sometimes we think a person who is very hardworking is a higher personality. Sometimes we think a person who is having some sort of a confusion about religion or something, we think he is a higher person. Our ideas about higher personality itself are wrong. People are higher because they are spiritually evolved. Otherwise they are not, they go to dogs. Nobody respects them. Now we are in Germany, and Germany, germ itself means actually Kundalini. Germ means, in Sanskrit as we call it, Ankura. Ankura is the germ. And Germany is the place where we can have Kundalini Puja. Is something really a great coincidence, or I think it's just Parama Chaitanya's arrangements. So, to look at a seed looks like an ordinary thing, nothing special. Could be very hard nut also. Mostly the seeds are in nuts. Mostly. If they are not in nuts, then they might be having some sheath or something, minimum. But you won't find a seed just hanging from somewhere on a tree. It has to have some protection, some sort of a hardness outside. Now, that hardness is there. But the germ has a capacity to break that hardness. Just imagine a germ, which is such a delicate thing, which even if you touch it might break. Can break a germ, can break the covering, the hard shell. How can it do it? Isn't it fantastic? That such a hard shell, which we cannot break it with our teeth here, can be easily broken by a delicate germ. So at that time, what happens? is the shell itself doesn't become lively, it doesn't get life. There is no movement of the shell itself, but it moves and it opens. So that delicate thing, when it grows, then the shell has to break. In the same way, this Kundalini, which is a delicate thing, if you see a person who is compassionate, oh, they say, Mother, he's too much a gem, Everybody has sort of a sympathy, protectiveness for that person. He's just Mother, he's just compassion, it's too much. We always feel such a person to be a weakling, a weak personality, and that he should be protected. Oh Mother, he doesn't know also how to abuse people. How will he beat anyone? He cannot even kill an ant on this road. How can he do anything that is good for nothing? That's our concept, because we think we should have somebody really a tyrannical person to handle things. But just see that in a seed, it is that delicate germ grows and breaks the shell. In the same way, when we become really delicate like a germ and then grow in our delicacy and in our beauty of compassion, love and knowledge which makes you humble, then these shells will break.
So let's just close our eyes, keep our hands open in our laps. Just play a little music. We can, with our right hand, just raise up our energy, our little germ, up through the central channel, just lightly touching the top of our head, and then just keeping our hands open on our lap. I'll just play a little bit of music, just a couple of minutes. I know we're a bit over time, but we'll have a couple of minutes. Let's play this. Just watching the thoughts, let them go by. Again, raising up your hand through that central channel onto the top of the head, just to bring your attention higher. And we'll slowly open our eyes. Nice to carry on sitting there, but I'll have to finish there. If you're on Zoom, you will feel free to ask any questions or share anything you would like to. I have got a bit of music for everyone on YouTube that I can play and carry on meditating for a bit. But otherwise, we'll say good night to everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Paul, for talking to us about Kundalini and pure desire. That was very nice to have you. And next week, I think we'll be talking about the spirit and the heart. So that'll be nice. And thanks everyone here for joining. Thanks, Kate, for popping in from Tasmania.
Straight from the airport.
Straight from the airport. And hope many more of you will pop in and see us one week as well. So thank you all for joining. Have a look on, we've got some questions. Excellent. Let's have a look. Thank yous, lots of thank yous. Thank you. Thank you also, Angie. Thank you, Super. Thank you, Anna. I will leave you with a bit of music. Don't forget, on the 5th of May, the anniversary of the opening of the Sahasrara Chakra, have a look on our website. I'll share that slide where the website address is. There'll be a lot of things happening in different languages just to celebrate that event, being the 100-year anniversary of the birth of Shri Mataji as well. And so Friday, the anniversary of opening of the Sasra, is also a wonderful thing that has happened for us all. So good night, everyone on YouTube. And thanks from three people in the UK. Thank you. That was very nice to hear. I'll just put some nice meditating music on for everyone. Hopefully that's what I'm doing. Yeah, got something here, which is not that one. Oops. I'm not sure what I shared just then, sorry about that. Share this and I'll play a bit of music. Something else I was going to play. Yes, we've got Nick Buff. We'll play Nick. I will turn it down a bit so if anyone wants to chat here, they can.